Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the partners of this video, Mint Mobile. Have you ever overspent money on things like gas, groceries, or your phone bill? But here's something you can do right now to save money, and that is switch to Mint Mobile. You might already know a little bit about Mint Mobile from those ads you've seen Ryan Reynolds in, who's also an owner in the company, but let me quickly tell you how great their service is. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep costs very low because they sell direct to you online. They cut out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you have to pay more than you need to for the same exact network? When I got into Mint Mobile, the speed was top notch. Whether it was going on the internet, making calls, sending text messages, it's the best of the best quality. Switching to Mint Mobile also is a very easy process. Thanks to their digital eSIMs cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. No more standing around and waiting in line at big wireless stores. You can keep your current device and phone number and easily switch services. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, just hold tight because Mint Mobile will ship you a new SIM card free of charge. Trust me, it's a very simple process. It was easy for me when I activated my eSIM as well. All of Mint Mobile's plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and a free mobile hotspot. Mint Mobile also shows you how much data you use each month and recommends plans that will save you money. Mint Mobile also has a super affordable modern family plan with as little as 2 lines. Use my link in the description box to get premium wireless starting at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/young. Stop spending more than you need to and save big today with Mint Mobile. But now let's get back to the subject of discussion, because unlike Mint Mobile, the Clippers are just straight up unreliable and we gotta flame those frauds. You know, when you look across the NBA, there are plenty of teams that are overachieving. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings. The fact that they are the 2nd seed is something that nobody saw coming. Even the Kings fans, I have to take an L on that one as well. Also, props to the Knicks. Trust me, you're not going to get anything more than that, so just take that, Knicks fans. But one team that has failed to live up to expectations year in and year out and consistently gets a pass are the Los Angeles Clippers. But for whatever reason, we consistently let this team slide for one reason or another, and we don't keep that same energy for other teams that have accomplished more and have more actual real excuses. This is a team that obviously has had championship expectations since they formed the duo of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but the only real reason that they are thrown in these conversations of contenders in the league is just off of name value alone, because their performance has not been it. This season, the Clippers have been a laughingstock in my personal opinion. I think they still will make the playoffs and will be respectable in certain rounds, but they have clear weaknesses on this roster that put a hard ceiling for them come playoff time that many people just don't want to talk about for some reason. But before I dive deep into my bag for this video, because you don't want to miss the rants, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and press that bell for post notifications. You guys showed up and showed out with the support on my last video about how sorry Ben Simmons is, and I hope you guys can keep that up in this video. But without further ado, let's talk about how the Clippers are the biggest frauds in the NBA. Now, this video could backfire and the Clippers could win it all, or they can make the finals, and I'm sure people are gonna come to the comments of this video and say that it aged like milk. But I'm willing to bet that I'm not going to be wrong, and if I am, trust me, I will make an apology video, just like I did last year for Jimmy Butler. But until then, I have full license to flame the shit out of this team because they deserve it. I do not have faith in this roster whatsoever going forward. For starters, let's talk about how every single big name on this team is getting overrated to some degree. For starters, let's look at the role players on this team. We've been told ever since Kawhi and PG came there that they were deep. They were so loaded. They were stacked. Super team, 96 Bulls.
Start with the fact defensively. Who's gonna score against the Los Angeles Clippers?
Clippers are hungrier. They got more dog. They got more nastiness.
This is the best Clippers team of all time.
Those were the narratives about this roster. But here we sit on March 9th of 2023, and I think it's safe to say that the depth on this team is not as good as advertised. For starters, Marcus Morris is genuinely a cone that does nothing to provide positivity on this roster. I get his floor spacing is there. He's shooting 37% from 3 this year, but that's not enough. I'm sorry. He gets the ball, and instead of actually spotting up, which should be his only role on offense, he tries to take defenders off the dribble when they have bad closeouts, and and that would be one thing if he could actually do it, but he can't because he sucks. But the worst part about him isn't even the offense, it's his defense. He provides absolutely nothing. On ball, he isn't good, but off ball, he's even worse. Whenever they pull Zubac out the paint and they rely on him to provide help defense once he rotates to the guy rolling to the basket, he is genuinely trash at that. He can't offer any type of resistance whatsoever. And considering that they're usually with lineups where he has to play the 4 because of how shitty he is on the wing, his help defense is very crucial towards this team's success, and unfortunately, he can't provide any of that whatsoever. I really do question why they don't put in Rocco in some of those situations. I understand his offense isn't very good, but defensively, he's going to provide some type of resistance because of his length and size. He's a very good help side defender. Then you look at a guy like Bones, who just straight up sucks. I don't even know why the Clippers traded for him. You might as well have just kept Reggie Jackson's sorry ass if you were gonna do something like that.
Bones is you know, he's a good young player, but he's mature. You know, he understands the game. He understands what we need from him.
You also got a guy like Norman Powell, who offensively is a really good 3-point shooter, but unfortunately defensively he has been so bad at times this season. The guy struggles with rotations, he can't communicate with others on the court, and the fact that he just keeps getting minutes late in games just throws me off here. The rotations on this team suck, and we're gonna get to Ty Lue in a second, trust me. And sure, John Wall and Reggie Jackson aren't there anymore, but those guys were so hot garbage, it's insane that it took them that long for them to get them off the roster. As far as their big man rotation goes, I like Plumlee and Zubac. They're solid players, but their inability to guard on the perimeter is a big issue, especially with Plumlee, who just sucks with his pick and roll defense. Then you look at the fact that they picked up Russell Westbrook, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Westbrook has not been that bad for the Clippers, so I'm not just gonna shit on him here. But starting him over Terrence Mann never really made sense to me, especially considering that Terrence Mann was really good in that starting position and Westbrook was flourishing coming off the bench for the Lakers. I mean, if it's not broken, why are you trying to fix it? And that leads me into Ty Lue, one of the most overrated coaches in the league. Don't get me wrong, Ty Lue is still a really solid coach, but his dedication to certain players on this roster is insane to me. The big one obviously being what I mentioned earlier in Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris should be getting a lot of DNPs. Like I said, he only provides floor spacing, and even that is something that they have ample of on this roster. Batum and Rocco may not be the 3-point shooters that Marcus Morris is, but they can at least shoot the ball from out there and still provide some type of resistance with the help. Since the beginning of the new year, the Clippers defense has fallen off a cliff, and the biggest reason is because of the Marcus Morris minutes. So actually make some adjustments, Ty Lue. That's what you're known for, right? Do your job. Now, to be honest, I can say all I want about players like Zubac and Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, Reggie Jackson's sorry ass, but the biggest culprits of players living off of their reputation on this roster has to be Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. The modern day Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Oh, thank God we are removed from that stupid ass narrative they tried to push about this team being the '96 Bulls. Let's start off with Kawhi, because to an extent, I don't really have too much to complain about Kawhi other than his defense. Offensively, Kawhi is not playing that bad. He's actually playing good, especially over the last 2-3 months. But unfortunately, he settles for a lot more jumpers than he should be. I would definitely like to see him get to the rim a lot more, but he does struggle to beat his man off the dribble at times. I think the biggest reason is because of the fact that he has lost that first step and burst that he had a couple of years ago, obviously due to that ACL injury. But when you throw in the fact that his defensive awareness and just overall ability on that side of the ball is not what it used to be, it has made him an overrated defender. I still hear people say that he's elite on that side of the ball, and I'm sorry, but over the past couple of seasons, he was already showing regression defensively, but this year has honestly been the worst. He's not horrible, obviously, he's still a huge positive, but off the ball, he has been struggling a lot over the last couple of weeks. I mean, I'm just talking basic lack of awareness where he's allowing the most simple backdoor cuts over and over and over. But the worst culprit of this has to be Paul George. Now, PG has come to the realization lately that he is not a #1 guy, and I'm glad that he's realized that. But hell, PG, you're starting to look like you can't even be a #2 guy at this point, because there are issues with this guy on both sides of the ball. Let's stay with the theme of defense and talk about how PG is not that guy anymore on that side of the ball. I won't go as far as to say he's a liability or some negative there, but he is not the great defender that he used to be. Hell, even last year compared to now, it's a noticeable decline. On the ball, he has consistently been cooked all season. Like I said, you may have moments of greatness from him, especially with his length off the ball, but he cannot consistently be the positive that he used to be in recent years. My bigger issue though with PG has to be offensively. I mean, my goodness, this nigga is decaying as an offensive player day by day. If I have to see this man create for himself and his teammates again, I am going to lose my mind. Don't get me wrong, PG is not a horrible playmaker, but the turnovers are getting ridiculous. Whenever he tries to make advanced reads, it always results in some stupid pass. His handles don't look as tight as they used to be in recent seasons. Then you throw in the fact that his rim pressure has been at an all-time low for his career ever since he's arrived with the Clippers, and this year it's no different. It's even worse. I really want to ask you guys, where do you rank Paul George in the NBA? Is he even a top 20 or even a top 25 player in the league? I mean, the fact that we even have to ask that question is a testament to how far he is falling each and every year. This Clippers team is just filled with a bunch of players that have name value based on things they did in the past at their peaks, but they just can't live up to those standards anymore. And that's okay. Not everybody can beat Father Time. I'm just sick of having to hear them in these conversations of contenders year in and year out because they have Kawhi and PG and a deep roster. This team lacks chemistry, especially on the defensive end. They struggle with rotations, they struggle with communication, they clearly lack leadership, and I'm expected that they're just gonna flip some switch because Kawhi Leonard is a first-round merchant in the playoffs. Please, give me a fucking break. If they prove me wrong when it's all said and done, trust me, they will get the apology video, but so far, I am not moved. But hey, that is just my opinion. If you guys disagree, then let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to check out the latest episode of the Off the Grid podcast. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. You guys stay safe and have a blessed day. Peace.